Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Parijantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So to sum up what we had seen, we saw cause-effect relationship. We saw cause-effect relationship as mithya. We saw that in our life also the whole thing is what is mithya, what is real. Then we are looking at the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. So I said the relationship between the words are Samana Adhikaranyam, Samana Adhikaranam. They refer to the same entity. And when the words are in Samana Adhikaranyam, then the meaning of the words will be an adjectival relationship. The example I gave was big blue fragrant lotus. Now, the same thing is applicable for Tattvamasi. There is Samana Adhikaranyam. Binna pravritti nimittanam padanam Samana vibhaktikanam ekasmin bimbe tatparyam. If you all want a definition. Different words having different meanings, but all refer to or all have their intent in one and the same entity. This is definition of Samanadhikaranyam. So Tattvamasi is that. Tat Tvam Asi. That you are. What is that? We have to see what is you. We have still to say. And we also saw contextually that refers to the cause, Jagat Karanam Brahman, otherwise known as Ishvara. Okay. Those of you who are from other religious traditions, Moses on the mount, when God appeared to him as a flaming bush, he asked, what type of a God are you? Because he came from an Egyptian background where there were many gods. Pantheon was there. And what was the Lord's answer? I'm sure there are some Christians around here. I am that I am. I am that I am. Whether it was clear to the followers, I don't know. I'm sure to Moses it was clear. Okay. So, Tat Jagat Karanam Brahman Ishvaraha Tvam Asi. This is the meaning because of Samana Adhikaranyam. That means what? As we saw last time, either Tvam will have to become an adjective for Tat or Tat will have to become an adjective for Tvam. If I become an adjective for Ishvara, Ishvara should be a very sad person. Finite guy. All my limitations should be there on Ishvara also, no? You know, we in Vedanta sometimes we say without thinking much, total mind is Ishvara's mind. Total mind is full of what? Sadness, depression, finitude, jealousy, anger. So what will Ishvara's mind be? Bigger mess than me, no? I am bad enough. Here is where you have to understand that between the individual and total, there is always a qualitative difference. Those of you who are into structural engineering will understand that very well. The difference between individual and total. Let me give a simple example. One person with a bag. Is it a big luggage? You take the bag and walk in. Let us say there are 50 people going by bus with one bag each. How will you handle the bags? It becomes a logistic issue now. How to load it on top of the bus? One bag, no issue. No? One person. Just climb onto the bus with your bag in hand. Are you seeing the qualitative difference that comes in? So similarly, there is a qualitative difference between one mind and total mind. All my emotions of sadness, etc. is based on what? My concept of myself as a finite being. Ishvara doesn't have that concept. Therefore, there is no finitude. Therefore, all these type of emotions are not there. Okay. To make some of this nuances clear, there's a small book available in English. It says, Mr. God, this is Anna. I don't know whether any of you have read this book. Yeah, you have. Yeah. Mr. God, this is Anna. Some of my students have my book. As usual, my English book gets taken and doesn't come back. Okay. It's still circulating. I hope it is circulating and people are reading it. Read that book. It's very nice. It is a child's perspective. So the child is saying, in the church, Father, God does not have a bum. Why? He's not like you and me, nah. He's everything, then how can he have a bum? So she dances around the church saying, God has got no bum. 6-year-old kid. I'm sure somebody has written it, but from the child's perspective, very beautifully said. Some of these nuances, very nicely said. Yeah. Anyway, that apart. Ishvara will have to have all my qualities if I become an adjective for Ishvara. If Ishvara is taken as an adjective for me, I should become Sarva Shaktiman, etc. Shaktiman I am not. The only Shaktiman I know is those Shaktiman trucks that used to be there. It was a brand of trucks. So, Sarvajnaha. Yeah, many of us think we know everything, but we know we don't know everything. Yeah. Sarvavyapi, I don't want to become. If I put on 5 kilos, I am worried. I don't want to be Sarvavyapi. Therefore, Ishvara cannot become an adjective to me. I cannot become an adjective to Ishvara. Therefore, the meaning is contradictory. Tattvamasi, when you look at the meaning, it's a problem. What do? 2 choices. You can dismiss that meaning. It's all nonsense. Prattlings of humanity in its infancy. One of the Western writers said that. That is his prattling. Yeah. Max Muller actually, okay? Yeah. Or, if you respect the Upanishad as a pramana, pramana meaning pramakaranam, that which gives you knowledge. If you respect it as a means of knowledge, you will try to see what it is trying to say. It is not the direct meaning, it's an implied meaning. Now, what is an implied meaning? We use that in language all the time, no? Somebody is saying, Daddy is talking a lot here. The beard is talking a lot. Beard talking. Looks as he understands. Look at the pot going. Pot going? You look at that. It's a nice big pot-bellied character going. He's got a beer belly. Pot going. We use implication all the time. So there are varieties of implications. One thing in Sanskrit is you classify things, so that you're clear what you're using. So in our day-to-day language, we use implied meaning all the time. No? When 2 friends are talking about the third person, what happens? When you're gossiping about a third person, it's all implied meanings only. No? Yeah. Sometimes Implied meanings are complementary also. आश्रम में बात कर रहा है, so I don't want to use those words, okay? Yeah. Yeah. So, now in implied meaning there are two broad categories. One is proper implication, other is called secondary meaning. Gaunam, we will say it. Okay, Gaunam. Now what is a Gaunam meaning? Richard the Lionheart, one of the English kings, he was called Lionheart. Did they do a transplant and transplant a lion heart into his heart? No, yaar. It's used meaning he was fierce, courageous, ruthless in battle. Therefore, lion heart. It's called Gaunam in Sanskrit. Secondary meaning, not direct. Gaunam. Yeah. The other is, there are other meanings also like that, Dviraifa, etc. I don't want to go into all those technicalities right now. But the implication that concerns us are three in nature. Yeah? Very common implications. One is called Jahal Lakshana, where the meaning of the word is literally given up and something associated is brought in. Hey, I want to come to Dayananda Ashram. Where is the ashram? Right on the Ganga. Oh, you have a floating ashram? Does anybody ask that? Do you have a floating ashram on the Ganga? Is it on a boat or something? No. You know it's on the banks of the Ganga. So the literal word Ganga is given up. Something associated, the banks brought in. Where do you stay? Someone asked me. Where do you stay? Oh, Chambur, Bombay. Okay, where in Chambur? 11th Road. Swamiji, you don't look like a street dweller to me. I mean, I know you're a monk. ऋषिकेश के फक्कड़ है, बॉम्बे के नुक्कड़ में रहता हूँ. You don't look like a street kid for me or a street dweller for me. No, they understand. It's an apartment block on 11th Road. 11th Road given up, apartment block brought in. Don't we use this all the time in our normal language? Words like this. Then, this is Jahal Lakshana. Word given up, associated meaning brought in by implication. But it has to be associated meaning. Like when he says, where is Dayananda Ashram, and I say on the Ganga. Acha, I have to go to Gangotri for that. Nobody says that. Na? Associated to close by. Yeah. Close by. Or should I go to Prayagraj? On the Ganga, there also Ganga. No, it is here. Associated. The second type is called Ajahal Lakshana, where the meaning is not given up. Yesterday was Holi. And Holi celebrations, lot of things happen. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything happens. So we're going for a walk. And I tell my friend, look at the black dog coming. Sorry, forget black dog. Look at the old monk coming. It's even better. Look at the old monk coming. So he looks and all, he doesn't see anyone in this dress. Swamiji, you're the only old monk. He says, no, look at that guy, old monk. And you see a guy staggering a bit and walking. Then you understand. He is not the old monk is inside him. The old monk is inside him. It's a type of rum available in India. Okay. Why they called it old monk, I don't know. Yeah. So now what is it? Is the meaning of the word old monk given up? No, but something is added to it. Okay. Look at the beard talking. Beard cannot talk. A bearded man is talking. Someone standing outside saying, look at the beard talking. Beard cannot talk. A bearded person is talking. Okay, bearded talking. This is called ajahat. Jahat, to give up. Ajahat, not to give up. Therefore, by Sandhi rules, because Lakshana follows, Ajahal Lakshana. Okay. All right. Now, in Tattvamasi, can you apply Jahat Lakshana? What are you giving up? Give up Tvam. What will you bring in then? Give up Tat. What will you bring in? Not possible. All right, don't give up the meaning. Use Ajahat Lakshana. What are you going to add to Ishvara to make sense? You can't add anything to Ishvara if you understand Ishvara. And what can you add to me to equate with Ishvara? I mean, to a human being, what you can add? Maximum addition is another human being. It doesn't make it Ishvara anyway. So Jahat, Ajahat doesn't have meaning. Then there is a third one called Jahajaha Lakshana, or known as Bhagatyaga Lakshana. Now what is Bhagatyaga Lakshana? True story. Some years back when I was staying in Rishikesh as a student, Swamiji had come here. So when Swamiji comes, there are always a few devotees coming. So, someone known to me, she's a doctor working in Bombay. She came to spend a few days with Swamiji. So that evening, Shuddhananji, who was running the ashram at that time, told me, hey, I need some medicines for Swamiji from Shivananda ashram. Because Shuddhananji had a habit. Whenever Swami Dayananji was here, he would ensure that Swami Dayananji had Churnaprash with milk every night. As long as he is there, I'll take care of his health. That was his attitude. Great seva bhav Shuddhananji had. You will see him at the Bandara sometime. He's 92, 93. He's going strong. Okay. So, he said, please get this. Can you get this? I said, I'll go for a walk in the evening, pick it up and come. Shivananda ashram right in the corner. So, when going out, 2-3 people joined me. Hey, we'll also come for a walk. I said, okay, come. So they were waiting outside the Shivananda medical shop. I went inside, picked up the medicine, Churnaprash and 1 or 2 other things, and came out. And found an old person old friend of mine from Bombay, not a friend, he was more of an acquaintance that time, talking with these people. So I walked in. He said, hello. He has not recognized me. So my other friend says, this is that guy you knew in Bombay. Okay. Soyam Brahmavidananda. That time Ram Mohan. Soyam Ram Mohan. True story, you know? So I better stick to the old name. Now look at it. This Dr. Patwardhan who had walked in, supposing my friend had said, her name was Geeta, friend had said, meet Ram Mohan. He would have said, Swamiji. Supposing he had said, you remember my friend Ram Mohan in Bombay? Ah, yeah. Naval guy, na? Where is he gone now? For him to understand that I am the same guy, what has to be said? That guy you knew there is this guy that is here. Now to understand what he is, in his mind there is Ram Mohan playing the role of a naval officer. Here what is in front of him is Ram Mohan the sadhu. So from the naval officer he has to drop that role of naval officer, the uniform, etc. From the sadhu he has to drop the sadhu dress, etc. The long beard, etc. Those times the beard used to be wilder. Student, no? Look at Yash and all, you'll see. Wilder beard. And see the person, no? Correct? Understand the person dropping the roles. Role of naval officer dropped, role of sadhu dropped, understood the person. So when you understand that, one part is retained. The person is retained, role dropped from the naval officer. Person retained, role of sadhu dropped. How many entities are there now? 2 roles, 1 person. No? 2 roles, 1 person. This is called Bhagatyaga Lakshana or Jaha Lakshana. How can you just drop it? Because it's a role. Naval officer is not permanent, it's a role dropped. Sadhu is also not permanent. I just picked it up. No? I was not born sadhu. Nobody is born a sadhu, okay? Both the roles are picked up, both the roles can be dropped. Swamiji, sadhu role also can be dropped. Yeah. Sadhu role can be dropped. I mean, after sannyasa, there is no reverse gear, you can't go back. But there are people who dropped it. There's a place here near Triveni called Mayakund. Why is it called Mayakund? Because anyone who goes and stays there completely reverses their intention. Married people who come and stayed there have got separated and become sannyasis. Sannyasis who went to stay there have got married. I knew a great Sanskrit scholar like that. He was a sannyasi. Yeah. He used to come here often to meet Swamiji. Then he got married and became the principal of the Sanskrit college here. Though traditionally you don't do it, it's a role, can be dropped. Yeah. So now look at it. Because it's a role, the very statement that this is the same guy, Soyam Ram Mohan, was enough to make that person understand why the roles can be dropped, the person retained and understood. Now in Tattvamasi what happens? Simple. From Tat, drop Ishwaratvam. From Tvam, drop Jivatvam. What is left is only consciousness. How can you drop? बोलने से होता है. By saying it, do you drop it? How can you drop it? Let's start with the Jiva first. Tvam. We saw yesterday, na? All that you have taken as yourself is what? Mithya. Your body, your mind, your knowledge, your concept of yourself. We saw all that as mithya. If it is mithya in your understanding, can you not drop it? I'm not saying drop the body. Please don't. Then the ashram will have a tough time. We'll have to take care of the body, dispose of the body. Inform next of kin, this, that. But understanding wise, in your understanding, can you not drop it? Body was picked up by me Picked up by you, yeah, at birth, at conception, picked up by you. After 80, 90, whatever, you'll drop it. You get tired of it, you'll want to drop it. Yeah. Long life is a blessing only if you have health. Yeah. So, you'll pick up, you'll drop. Emotions. Emotions. Morning you feel something, evening you feel something else. Morning is I love you, by evening it has become I love you. You go your way, I go my way. Yeah. Knowledge keeps changing all the time, no? With new discoveries, new understandings. What is it that cannot be dropped? What is it that cannot be dropped from Tvam? You, the one that is picking up and dropping things, that cannot be picked up or dropped. That consciousness I is retained. It cannot be picked up, it cannot be dropped. No heya, no upadana. No bringing on or giving up. Heya, giving up, upadana, to pick up. No heya, upadana. Therefore, what is the jiva? Consciousness manifest in this body, mind, etc. The body, mind, etc. being mithya can be dropped in your understanding. Because it is mithya, otherwise it can't be dropped. Atma is satyam. Can that be dropped? No, it can't be dropped. That is you. The one who is dropping everything and picking up everything, that entity is the I. The one that is dropping things, the one that is picking up things, that I, the content of that I, the consciousness, that cannot be picked up or dropped. That is I, you, consciousness. And what is Ishvara? Manifest in the totality, manifest in the total multiverse. Multiverse is what? Satyam or Mithya? The multiverse is what? We saw everything yesterday. Book, table, chair. You take anything, it resolves into existence consciousness. So it's a manifestation. There is a time when the manifestation will come, there will be a time when the manifestation will go. It's a manifestation. Therefore, the whole universe knocked off from total consciousness. Ishvara is not a separate entity. Ishvara is a name given to consciousness from the standpoint of the creation. This has to be understood well. Ishvara is not a separate entity. Swamiji, in Vedanta we are interested in Brahman, no? Not Ishvara, no? As though there are two entities. Yeah? Is a name given to you, Brahman. Consciousness is a reality. प्यार से मुझे ईश्वरा बुलाता हूँ. You say that na Hindi में. प्यार से. Like if you go to Punjab, people have nice name, you know. आपकी शुभ नाम? शेर सिंह. Wow, what a nice name, Sher Singh. Then his brother comes in, hey Pappu. Or hey Tommy. A name like Sher Singh, why are you making it to Pappu and Tommy? Pyar se, out of love, you call a nickname. So like that, the consciousness Brahman gains a name called Ishvara with respect to the creation. Achha, Ishvara is not real then? Ishvara is consciousness. Consciousness is real or not real? Yeah, that's Ishvara. Therefore, when Ishvara is equated to you, that Ishvaratvam is dropped. Ishvaratvam is with respect to creation. Creation is mithya. So whatever is mithya is dropped. What is left behind? One limitless consciousness. You. One limitless consciousness which is you. So I am that limitless consciousness. Tattvamasi. The whole teaching is summed up in one sentence. And if I am that limitless consciousness, where is my existential angst? Isolation, loneliness. What isolation? I am in harmony with the whole universe. As I sit here, I sit in every planet in the universe. Right or wrong? Not this body. As I am here in every planet in the cosmos. Yeah. This is harmony with the whole thing. Where is isolation? Where is loneliness? You don't need a purpose. What purpose you need? Purpose you need because you feel I'm useless as an individual. Therefore, some purpose will make me feel good about myself, which is true. Everyone needs a purpose in life, functionally. So, what is there now? Only one consciousness. What about the world and things like that? Something is there. Some, like waves in the ocean. Waves in the ocean. The whole universe appears in me. The whole universe appears in me like waves in the ocean. I am the water that makes up the ocean. I am the consciousness that makes up everything. The whole universe is a manifestation of me, the consciousness. But some of you are still in this body. Acha hai. Why? Because I have this body, I can go for a walk and come back. Can consciousness go for a walk? Can consciousness go for a walk? No, it's everywhere. Where can it go? But because I manifest in this body, घूम के आ सकता हूँ. I can be a tourist. See new places. Otherwise, what are you? Nothing but consciousness. So all of Vedanta is to understand these nuances of the statement. Lakshanaya. But when we say implication, we think it's an indirect meaning. That's why I gave the other examples. Where is the ashram? On the Ganga. Is it an indirect meaning or direct meaning? When you understand the implication, is the meaning direct or indirect? Direct, no? Old monk is coming. Direct. It may take you a second to understand it. But once you understand, you will start grinning and saying, yeah, I see it. Similarly, Tattvamasi. It may take you a little bit time to understand it. But once you understand, that's true. Like how long did Dr. Patwardhan take to understand that I am Ram Mohan? It's immediate, no? It's immediate. The moment he gets the meaning of the sentence, it's immediate. So how long do you take to understand Tattvamasi? As long as you get the meaning. Is it indirect knowledge? No, it's direct knowledge. Because words can give you both direct knowledge and indirect knowledge. We think because his words And words dealing with something we don't know, it gives us indirect knowledge. Like if I was to describe Gomukh to you, this whole glacier, but it's covered with scree, and then there is this whole cave, and out of this cave the Ganga rushes out. If you have not been to Gomukh, it's all indirect knowledge for you. Those of us who have been to Gomukh, it's triggering your memory. Correct? Why? Because Gomukh is far away from you. It's about 100 miles from here. So because it is remote, words will give you indirect knowledge. This is a pot. Words. Direct knowledge, indirect knowledge. Direct, no? But Swamiji, we are talking about consciousness. That which is beyond the mind, etc. Who said it's beyond the mind? It's about you. Are you known to you or unknown to you? Supposing I were to ask, knock, knock. Who's there? Are you there? I don't know. I'll check. I am there. Do you have to verify whether you are there or not? Are you there? Do you exist? Swamiji, wait a minute. I'll consult my wife and tell you, because I never do anything without consulting her. Do you need to do that? Or do you have to make an inference? I'm hearing these words, therefore I must be there. As René Descartes, the French philosopher, said, I think, therefore I am. My reply to him will be what? I am, therefore I doubt. I am, therefore I doubt what you are saying. Because even when I don't think I am there, half the time you are not thinking anyway. In deep sleep you are not thinking anyway, but we are there. Between two thoughts you are not thinking, but you are there. By the way, today morning quite a few people were in deep meditation. We could hear them. So I am the most evident thing in the universe. Self-evident thing in the universe. Look at it. Anything in the universe, you need a means of knowledge to know it. Phone. I need my eyes, my perception. Ganga flowing there. I can't see it right now, but I can hear the noise. I can infer. So like this, you need a means of knowledge to know anything and everything in the universe. To know you are, I am. What means of knowledge do you need? I am is self-evident. If I am is not self-evident, I will not be able to use a means of knowledge to know anything. Because I have to be there first before I can use a means of knowledge to know something. So I know I am without anyone telling you. Now it can be an academic exercise in a philosophy class. Give reasons for your existence. My father-in-law, without him I wouldn't exist. I'm dependent on him. That's a different thing. I exist because I'm answering the stupid questions. You don't need anything. I am is so self-evident. In fact, when you get up in the morning, first thought is I. Then everything else comes into place. And sometimes if you have enjoyed a lot the night before, you start with asking, where am I? Yeah. You had one too many. Where am I? About this self-evident I, that I, the Upanishad is revealing as Tat Asi. You are not just a simple person. You are not just a simple conscious being. You are the limitless consciousness itself. From the conscious being, you are negating the being. The consciousness is being retained. You are the consciousness itself. Tattvamasi is that. Limitless consciousness. So where is the problem? Existential angst. Gone. Loneliness, you have harmony with the whole universe. Sad, depressed, you are Ananda. This consciousness, when it's manifest in the mind, is also called Ananda. Ananda literally means Anantam. We will see that when we are doing the Mahavakya, Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Limitlessness is presented as Ananda. Why is it presented as Ananda? Because when the limitlessness is manifest in your mind, what you experience is Ananda, joy. Your whole mind projecting into a desire. I want this, I want this. Oh Lord, give me this. I will not ask for anything else after that. We have prayed like that. No? Whole mind focused on that desire. You got it. What happens? Burst of Ananda. Ha ha ha. Or, yesterday I am just walking up and down after dinner. Hey, full moon suddenly. Beautiful. What happened? All your stray thoughts arrested with that beautiful sight, Ananda, that you are manifested. Either your desires are this thing, or your stray thoughts are denying yourself what you are. Your ignorance is denying yourself what you are. But in experiences like this, it peeps through. Stuck in a traffic jam in Bombay. Nowadays happens in Rishikesh also. Waiting. When will I reach? Hey, there's a kid in the next. Cute little kid making faces. I start smiling away. Why? Because all that frustration, this thing got a clearance in the sight of that cute kid. Ananda, that I have manifested myself. Every time it is Ananda manifesting only. We attribute it outside. If you are a bhogi, you will attribute it outside. If you are a yogi, you will attribute it inside. I have a student who became a teacher. Okay, the student who has become a teacher now. She's not here. She's in Bombay. She said, once she was requested to give a talk about her journey in one of our Vedic wisdom festivals. So she said, first 25 years of life, I was looking for happiness outside. Getting into this, getting involved, that. Then I realized it's not outside. Next 25 years of my life, I was looking for happiness inside. Because she became a yoga teacher and everything. As I said, yoga is a great preparation. I'm not against yoga. But this idea that happiness is inside and you will get it only in samadhi, that is what we are not fully in agreement with. I said, after 50, I came to Vedanta and I understood I am Ananda. Happiness is not outside or inside, it is you. You are Ananda. When you say your consciousness, that's what it implies. Therefore, where is the question of sadness, etc.? You are always Ananda. Look at it. Ananda going through a joyful situation will be what? Ananda, na? Ananda going through a challenging situation will be what? Still Ananda. Ananda going through a miserable experience will be what? Ananda. Will Ananda change? Ananda is always Ananda. Experience can be good, bad, ugly. Sometimes you go through miserable experiences and feel good, na? Swamiji, what are you talking about? Ask all our trekking friends. You think experience is joyful? It is joyful, but it is also miserable, na? Blistered feet, aching shoulders, half burnt food. Rain, you get wet. You come back and say, great. Why? Experience is miserable, but you are Ananda. Experience can be anything. You are Ananda. What does it matter? What is it? You are with your beloved. Naturally Ananda. Because you are Ananda yourself when you are with the beloved. Naturally Ananda will manifest. You are Ananda and you are in the midst of a battle. What will you be? Ananda going through a battle, no? Yeah. But Swamiji, how can Ananda go through a battle? Ask Bhishma, he'll tell you. Bhishma was a wise person. They realized his wisdom only when on the bed of arrows after the whole Mahabharata war was over. Yeah. Yeah. Ruthless in battle. Ruthless means ruthless. He used to finish one battalion every day. One battalion every day. Can you imagine that? One Akshauni. Every day was wiped out by him. Any Maharati who dared to come in front of him was off. Ananda. That's why he's called Bhishma, the fearful one. Okay. Oldest man in the battlefield. More than 125 years. Ananda. Ruthless activity. There is a mistaken notion that if you gain this wisdom, you have to be saintly. No. You don't have to be saintly. Saintly is if you have total compassion to everyone. You become a saint, whether you know the truth or not. Many saints did not know the truth. India and elsewhere. But they were saintly because that total compassion. Bhuta Daya, we call it in Sanskrit. Total compassion for everyone. That heart. So there have been wise men who were saintly. There have been wise men who were warriors. Wise women or men who were scholars, householders. It doesn't matter. You gain the wisdom, you gain the wisdom. You are that Tattvamasi, if you understand, done. That's it. Any questions up to now? The question shoot. I always will take questions in between also. Not that you have to wait until satsang to ask the question. Yeah.
Sorry, Swamiji, but
yeah?
I want a little more clarification. I'm not able to clearly understand how you have linked the Ishvara and the...
See, by the statement means you are Ishvara. Tattvamasi, the statement means you are Ishvara. But it can't be directly said you are Ishvara. No? Direct meaning doesn't make sense. Ishvara has manifested the whole universe. What can I manifest? Confusion. I'm very good at that. People hear me, they get confused quite often. So, he is all powerful. Where am I? Very little. He is all pervading. I am limited. Yeah. Therefore, at the level of the manifestation, I can never be Ishvara. That's why I said that adjectival relationship is not possible. Okay? I cannot even say I am part of him. See, I cannot say I am different from him, because then he gets limited, no? It is like, just let me finish. It's like the squirrel telling the mountain, I cannot carry forests on my back like you, but you cannot crack a nut, which I can. So, Ishvara, if I am different from Ishvara, I will be limited. He will also be limited. If I am part of Ishvara, again he will be limited, because me multiplied by 1,000,000,000 times will be Ishvara. That's a finite entity. Therefore, if Ishvara is infinite, limitlessness, and I as consciousness limitlessness, there cannot be two, there can only be one. Not at the manifestation, but as consciousness, one and the same. That's I. Now for explanation we'll say not the manifestation, but really speaking, what is it? Are you the body mind, or are you I consciousness? Body mind is an equipment. Like driving a car, it's just a car. But some of us are so attached to our car, a scratch on the car is like a scratch on my body. New car, no? It's like the dress I wear. Only thing is, this dress I'll change in a few years. This has been going on for 3-4 years anyway. This body will change after about 100 years probably. 80, 100 years, whatever. But you will change anyway. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grannandi tatau hidehi. Like the old clothes, you are changing and taking on new ones. The body we keep for a long time. But some people change it faster. He was only 30, he had a heart attack at the event. He wanted a new model. I had a Parsi friend. A couple of years back, we drove up to Lonavala from Bombay. In 1976, Hindustan Contessa. They stopped producing that long back. And he takes me to the back. Swamiji, come here. He puts his finger into the exhaust. Look at it. Not one carbon. Parsi gentleman, he maintained it like that. Spick and span. So, that is a 100-year model. Body will live 100 years. Some people change the car every year, no? I want a new model. So, long life, short life, karma decides all that. But as you are the consciousness, not this body mind. This is only an instrument. Body is an instrument for you to do. Mind is an instrument. It's an instrument. You pick it up, you use it. It's a good instrument. Like I used to say, it's like a samurai sword. But, now if it's like a sword, are you carrying the sword in your hand all the time? I'm a warrior, I'll carry. Or is it in a sheath? It's in a sheath. When it wants, you come out. It's in a flash, it can be out. Oh, sheath. But with our mind is also an instrument. But we carry it all the time. We don't stop thinking. We keep on spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. Therefore, it is good to learn to drop that mind. All the meditation, etc., is to learn to drop that mind so that you can see yourself as free from the mind. Experientially see yourself as free from the mind. You do that in deep sleep anyway, every night. But that's not a conscious thing. Therefore, if you need it in meditation, drop that mind. When you have to think, you think. When you don't have to think. Even when you think, you can witness your thinking. That's the height of Viveka. Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka, height of it is Sakshi Bhava. That's the height of it. Sakshi Bhava is the height of it. You can function like that also. Your functioning will be at a very high level. But difficult to reach that level of function as Sakshi Bhava. Not necessary. That's why I said last night, being deliberate, awareful is good enough. You had a question, sir. Sorry, you'll have to speak a bit loudly. I'm hard of hearing.
Is a little bit of Dvaitam always there in Advaitam?
Can someone repeat that?
Is there a little bit of Dvaitam in Advaitam? Always.
Okay. Now, there were writers in India who talked about Dvaita, who talked about Vishishta Dvaita, qualified this thing, and Advaita. Okay. Now, people say this was an evolution of thought. First, people talked about Dvaita, then evolving. When you talk of history of philosophy, evolution of thought, from Dvaita we went to Vishishta Dvaita to Advaita. Not true. Not true, because historically Advaita was presented first. Vishishta Advaita came how many years back? Ramanuja was? Not more, 600, 700 years? Huh? 1000 years. And then Dvaita came much later. So it cannot be an evolution of thought. Now I can take a tough stance. After all, we are in Rishikesh. I said they did not know the truth. We have had debates with Vishishta Dvaita, Dvaita, etc. They are not lasted in the debate. They don't know the truth. I can take a tough stance. Why? Hey, but Madhava, Ramanuja and all were great people. How do you say they were great people? Because they said great things. But what they said I am dismissing. Can you see, this is called charismatic approach. Because they are great, whatever they said is great. And how do you know they are great? Because they said great things. Each is not independently proved. An unproved entity is proving the other thing. And this unproved entity is being proving this. That's not logical. Or I can take a more tolerant stand, a more universal stand, and say they were wise people. They knew the truth. But the followers, people who came to them, couldn't understand. Therefore, they diluted it for their understanding. Let them start where they are. Dvaita is the starting point for us anyway. No? Nobody is born an Advaitin. We are all born Dvaitins only. No? That is separate, I am separate. I want that or I don't want that. We are born like that. Then, if you understand Ishvara, etc., you will say, okay, I have to be part of the whole thing. No, Ishvara is everything. Then when you come to Vedanta, you will understand what? As consciousness, you and I are one and the same. Yeah, so that's how I look at it. Not only I look at it. I am in very good company, his descendant I see somewhere here. Morning I saw when I went out. There was someone called Anjaneya. Yaad hai na? Yeah. Very powerful guy, He jumped all the way across to Sri Lanka. One leap, he was there. Hanumanji, Ramadutaha, Paramabhaktaha. Okay. Ramadasaha. At the end of Ramayana, Rama himself asked, says, Hanumanji, without you, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. I would never have been able to go to Lanka, destroy Ravana, get Sita, and it's all because of you it happened. And you have done so much for me. How do you relate to me? What is your perspective? And Hanumanji says it very, very beautiful. Deha drishtya tvadasoham. From the standpoint of this body, you're the Lord Master. I'm your dasaha. I'm your servant. I'm your follower. I'm yours to command, as a warrior would say. I'm yours to command. Jiva drishtya. From the standpoint of a jiva, an individual. Tvam amshakaha. Your Ishvara, I'm part of you. Vastu buddhya, from the standpoint of the reality, Tomevaham, you and I are one and the same. Iti me nishchit matihi. Parama Bhakta Hanuman saying this. That's why he is considered Jnani, not mere Bhakta. So take your standpoint. What is truth? Because all these people have said it, is Advaita the truth or is Dvaita the truth? All of you have heard Swamiji's Murari story? No. Some of you have heard, some of you have not heard. Okay. This is all. I am remembering my times with Swamiji, okay? Actually, the story happened quite close by here. You know, when you go from here northwards, Kailas Ashram comes on the way. In Kailas Ashram, those days, there was a great Mahatma called Vishnu Devananda. His student was Harihara Tirthaji, who became equally well known, if not more. Okay? From whom I was one of his students. So we are talking about Vishnu Devananda. So one person from south came to study from him. And Vishnu Devananda won't say you are Ishvara or you are Brahman. He would use the term you are Narayana. Because Narayana was Vishnu Devananda's Upasya Devata. So he would say you are Narayana. So every time he is explaining the Upanishad, etc., you are Narayana. Not your consciousness, you are Narayana. Tatvamasi, same thing. And this boy was a Bhakta. So it feels very uncomfortable. I am Narayana, what is this? How can you say that? He was uncomfortable. But Rishikesh is a place with a lot of influences. It is not a good place for beginners to come and study. Camps, etc. are okay. So he went for a walk across the river. There was another teacher teaching. So he sat down to hear. Like it happened to one of our students. She had come with me for the camp last time. So last time the lecture was on the hall on top. So this time for meditation she went to the hall on top. And found that he couldn't recognize anybody there. So similarly, this boy also went for a walk. So a teacher was teaching. And he was teaching Jiva and Jagat Bedaha. Jiva is different from Jagat. Jiva is different from Ishvara. Ishvara is different from Jagat. All different. They are all twofold. I can relate to that. So he decided to become his student. And he studied for 12 years. Lagatar, with all the logic, this, that, Nyaya. Nyaya, etc. is not easy to study. I taught some of my students one small simple text in it, and I know how much they struggled over it. Yeah, Sunita and all was there in that class. Yeah. They struggled over it. Yeah. So he studied all this for 12 years. And this Vishnu Devanji knew he is there. ठीक है, अपनी अपनी इच्छा है, अपनी अपनी प्रारब्ध है. It's your desire. Your prarabdha, where it takes you will go. So with this young man now, 12 years of education, this, that, all Panini Sutras he has mastered, Nyaya Shastra is mastered, all the Sri Bhashyam, etc. is mastered. Then he said, I must have a discussion. That old man is still continuing his nonsensical Advaita, you are Narayana. I must have a debate with him. So he came on this side. Went to Kailas Ashram. Where is Swamiji? Vishnu Devananda kidhar hai? Oh, Ganga kinare baitha hai. He's on the banks of the Ganga. Went there. So Vishnu Devananda said, Aja. He has become an old man by now. He said, Maharaji, I want Vada Bhiksha from you. Now a teacher is asked, you ask a teacher, Vada Bhiksha, the teacher cannot say no. Okay? Yeah, because Vada Bhiksha means I want a discussion, a debate with you. He says, fine, I will discuss with you. But the local barber, he was called Murari, he was staying in Shivananda Ashram. And as his seva to the sadhus, he would go and give everyone a haircut. Haircut for sadhus is simple. Either you grow everything or you take off everything. Yeah, when I was in Rishikesh, it was like that. Every few months, take off everything. And I will grow everything. Don't waste time on all this grooming and thing and shaving, and every morning half an hour goes in shaving only. Kya karne ka? Forget it. So this was his seva. So he said, now Murari is come. He has to go to the other ashram. Can you give me a few minutes? All my hair has become jata. It has all got matted and everything. I just want to remove everything off. So the boy said, I waited for 12 years. I can wait for another 12 minutes. That's the problem. So Murari, an old-fashioned razor, shaved off everything. And after that showed him the mirror. Here. As though you can do anything after that. Everything is gone. What's the point in showing the mirror? I don't know. You find it in all our local saloons, in India. If you go, they finish your haircut and then they'll show you how you look at the back. You already done everything, all the damage. What's the point in showing it? Anyway, he showed the mirror. And Vishnu Devanji said, my God, so much of tejas on my face. All my years of meditation, I did not have the spiritual brilliance. You, with a few strokes of your razor, did it. You are not ordinary Murari. You are Lord Murari himself. And he prostrated to that barber. The barber, devoted person, said, Maharaji, what are you doing this, Papa? You as a sannyasi and a Mahamantaleshwar, you can't do prostrations to me. You are not an ordinary Murari, you are a humble Murari also. One more prostration. By this time the barber is hopping like a cat on a hot tin roof. And he appeals to a young man standing there. Sir, aap bataiye inko. I am only Shivananda Ashram ke Murari hu main. I am Murari from Shivananda Ashram. So the young man said, Sir, what is wrong with you? This is our local Murari. He is not Lord Murari. Lord Murari is Krishna, Narayana. Not this thing. He is our local guy. Acha, if you say it must be true. Then he went for his bath, because in India the custom is if you have a haircut, you have a bath. So he went for a bath, came out, the young man is missing. Kidhar gaya? He wanted a debate, etc. Then he smiled, because the debate had already started without him knowing it. After half an hour he comes back with some fruits and etc. Adihi Devo Brahmeti. Please teach me about Brahman. Why? He had a great understanding that day. I, with my 12 years of education, of studies of Vedanta, etc., have understood I am not Ishvara. Murari, without any education, semi-literate guy, knows he is not Ishvara. What is the use of my education? I have doubts, that's why I wanted to come and debate with him, to prove myself. Murari doesn't even have doubts. He is better off than I am. He studied again with Vishnu Devanji, took sannyasa and all, became a good teacher also. I think his name was Purushottam something. I forget now. I forget his name. These are all true stories, okay? These are not made up stories. These are all true stories. When Swamiji is saying it, some stories you would make up, some are true. This is a true story. Yeah, we all make up stories sometimes, and sometimes they are true. And I'll tell you all, which is true, which is not true. Yeah. Like that Patwardhan story, this story, all true stories. Yeah. So now look at this. If after all the learning, you are back at the starting point, what is the point of your learning? Starting point, you say, I am not God. No? Ask a man on the street, are you God? What is that? If he is not a believer, what is God? If you are from DMK, you will say, are you insulting me? A leftist will say the same thing. Yeah. Or you'll say, come on. मेरा हाल देखा है ना? You seen my lot. What are you saying? You got or not? Yeah. Nobody says that. That is starting point. So after years of education, you come to the back to the same way. What is the point? What's the point? Yeah. To know differences, you don't need education. To know underlying, we are all nothing but quantum of energy sitting here. For that you need physics. Some learning has to be there. This may be steel, this may be clay, but both are quantum of energy. Under the formula E is equal to mc squared. For that you need physics, you need education. To know that that is clay and this is steel, you don't need any education. What education you need? You don't need. Education is supposed to tell you something that you don't already know. A pramana is supposed to give you knowledge which you don't have. Abhaditam anadigatam jnana janakam pramanam. A knowledge which is not gained by you before, that cannot be negated. Abhaditam. That is called a pramana. So if the Upanishad has to be a pramana, it has to give you abhaditam anadigatam jnanam. Dvaita etc. is known to me already. It is adigatam, not anadigatam. That I am limitless consciousness is anadigatam. That's what it has to kill me. Abhaditam, that cannot be negated. Why? Because we use logic to understand, but it is not based on logic. It is not dependent on logic. It is only your understanding is dependent on the logic. The truth that your consciousness is not dependent on a logic is self-evident. But that your limitlessness has to be known through a pramana of the Upanishads. And once you know it, you don't need any of the logic. Like I give you a lot of logic, brought in Lakshana, this, that. Correct? It's not dependent on that. Only your understanding is dependent on that. Your consciousness is clean. In fact, there's a book called Vedanta Paribhasha. That's one of the first books I taught here. It's an advanced text. It's a Prakarana Grantha, but still advanced. So in 84, I think, 84, yeah, I taught that text here in the ashram. When I started teaching with that. Because 84, Swamiji said, start teaching. I said, okay. I said, some of these boys have come here from the previous course in Sandipani. They want to learn. Okay, teach. There, he says, your consciousness is perception for you. He says. For a wise person, is perception. Now I know I am, and I know I am consciousness. So it's direct knowledge. Do you need logic to tell you this is a pot? That this is a pot, do you need logic to tell you that? No. The pot. Your consciousness. Once you know, you don't need any logic. It's so direct, so simple. इतना ही बात है. Om Tat Sat.